And those are just general admission tickets. If you want a seat, some of those are going for over $1,000.
To see tickets at the Target Center in Minnesota selling for as low as $10.
Ticket prices for the WNBA playoffs have dropped significantly, with some tickets selling for as low as $10. And no, that's not a joke, some seats were actually going for just $10.
To see tickets at the Target Center in Minnesota selling for as low as $10.
You can now watch a WNBA playoff game for less than the cost of a meal at Wendy's. The decline in interest is staggering, highlighting the league's urgent need for Caitlin Clark. It's clear that without her, their appeal significantly diminishes.
This league is insane, and that's why I have mixed feelings. I'm going to miss Caitlin Clark. Hopefully I don't see her on the basketball court again until April, until next WNBA season, but I'm so glad I don't have to watch the rest of this. I've been so turned off by most of these players in the WNBA. It's incredible.
Tickets to watch Caitlin Clark's games have been selling for thousands of dollars, while last week, tickets for the Suns games were going for as low as $65. You could even sit right behind the team's bench and enjoy the best view in the house. It seems like nobody's interested in watching DeJounte Carrington's aggressive style anymore.
According to StubHub, seats that are damn near courtside, they're going for $65. You can sit directly behind the female Suns bench for $60.
It's truly disappointing to see how much potential revenue the WNBA missed out on during these playoffs. If the Indiana Fever had been able to host their home games without any setbacks, the situation could have been entirely different. I can only imagine the sky-high prices fans would have been willing to pay to watch Caitlin Clark in the playoffs. It would have been absolutely insane.
Wherever she goes, ratings follow. The WNBA draft, the doubleheader to open the NBA season, ratings.
The WNBA needs to prioritize protecting its players, especially Caitlin Clark. She brought in millions of viewers and played her heart out, carrying one of the league's weakest teams to the playoffs. Despite facing tough referees, opponents who resented her, and criticism from the media, she still managed to shine.
Just an amazing passer.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most creative passers I've ever seen, along with the Magic Johnson, that type of passer. She makes long, short pass, bounce pass. I mean, incredible passes. And her teammates have been really good. They catch them and they finish. I mean, they've done a really good job with her.
Caitlin Clark didn't just boost ticket sales, she also helped raise the pay for players across the WNBA. Now, we see players like Angel Reese flaunting their earnings to fans. But let's be real, without Caitlin's impact, many wouldn't even know who Angel is.
I don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at.
It definitely covers that.
What is my, I don't even know my salary. 74? No, my rent is more than that. It's 8,000.
Unlikable. She's 22, 23. She can barely hit layups. Got, I'm sure, endorsement deals into the seven figures, so that's why she's laughing about this.
Even for Angel, this is surprising behavior. Meanwhile, the WNBA is grappling with a dramatic and unexpected decline in ticket prices for the finals, a trend directly linked to Caitlin Clark's absence from the playoffs. Without Clark, the league faces major challenges in filling seats, with ticket prices dropping significantly from the thousands they commanded during her electrifying regular season performances. Without her, the excitement that once surrounded WNBA games has dwindled, leaving the league struggling to maintain the same level of enthusiasm among its fan base.
Most expensive seats to see Caitlin Clark were selling for over $4,000. When she played Angel Reese in the regular season, average ticket was selling for $300. Normally, the Chicago Bravado, they'll let you in for free to see Angel Reese.
Just a few months ago, the situation was entirely different. Caitlin Clark's regular season games had become must-see events, with tickets selling out at astonishingly high prices. Fans were willing to pay thousands of dollars just to witness her incredible basketball skills in person. As the playoffs approached, her presence only amplified the excitement, driving ticket demand to unprecedented levels. However, with Caitlin Clark no longer in the playoffs, the narrative has shifted dramatically. Ticket prices have plummeted to levels no one could have anticipated, and the WNBA is now scrambling to fill stadiums.
The ratings, I believe, 2 Sundays ago with Caitlin Clark, she drew 1.8 million viewers on an NFL Sunday. This past NFL Sunday, Asia Wilson drew 900,000.
Without Clark, the buzz that once surrounded WNBA games has nearly vanished, leaving the league scrambling to avoid the embarrassment of empty seats during its most important events. To mitigate this, the WNBA has slashed ticket prices, hoping to create the illusion of packed arenas, even if the genuine excitement is lacking. The truth is clear, fans deeply feel the absence of Caitlin Clark. Her electrifying performances were a huge draw, and without her, the excitement around the playoffs has diminished significantly. The void she has left is enormous, and the league is struggling to fill it as interest in the finals wanes. Clark's absence has dealt a major blow to the WNBA's momentum.
Clark is setting records once again. Why would she not? This Sunday's game between number 5 Iowa versus number 2 Ohio State is the most expensive ticket in women's basketball, WNBA or NCAA women's, on record. The current get-in price is almost $500.
There's no doubt about it, Caitlin Clark has become the biggest draw in the WNBA. However, rumors of her potentially taking her talents overseas to Europe have put the league in a precarious position. If Clark were to make the move, it would be a massive blow to the WNBA, as she would bring her star power and viewership to a rival league, leaving the WNBA struggling to regain its footing. Given the way she's been treated throughout the season, many fans are even encouraging her to make the jump.
Could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer.
If she were to make the leap to an international league, it's hard to envision how the WNBA could maintain its newly found fan base without her magnetic presence. Rivals abroad are already positioning themselves to capitalize on her star power, and if Clark chooses to join a European team, the WNBA would likely experience a significant drop in interest. Fans eager to follow her career may shift their attention elsewhere, leaving the league grappling with another exodus of support. Clark's departure could set back the WNBA's growth in ways that may be difficult to recover from. Despite the enormous attention and revenue she has generated for the league, there's growing concern that the WNBA has not done enough to support her. Whether it's ensuring she's adequately protected from being targeted by opposing players or providing the right platform to showcase her talents, the league seems to have fallen short in helping Clark thrive. As a result, the consequences are becoming painfully clear.
We got a lot of players, a lot of these wonderful ladies who bust their tail to make the WNBA what it was. Here's the reality. It wasn't what it is. The quality of basketball may have been up to snuff, and you had somebody as popular as Cheryl Swoops who had her own signature shoe, had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is, very few people gave it.
With Clark sidelined from the playoffs, the excitement surrounding WNBA games has evaporated, leading to a dramatic plunge in ticket sales. Fans who were eager to see her dynamic performances have now lost interest, leaving the league scrambling to sell tickets for its biggest games of the year. What seemed like a breakthrough season for the WNBA has turned into a struggle to maintain engagement, and they risk losing the momentum they worked hard to build. In just the past few weeks, the WNBA has faced one of the steepest declines in attendance and fan interest in its history. The league went from drawing some of the largest crowds ever, packed to capacity to witness Caitlin Clark's electrifying play, to practically begging fans to attend the finals. This shocking reversal highlights how much the WNBA had come to rely on Clark to fill seats and generate excitement. Without her, there are even rumblings among players about potentially going on strike, fueled by jealousy over her salary and concerns about not being compensated enough.
If WNBA players go on strike, if next season is canceled, it will be the end of the WNBA in the mainstream. People will not give this league another chance.
Her presence on the court didn't just elevate her team, it energized the entire league, making every game she played a marquee event. However, without her, the WNBA faces a daunting challenge to stay relevant. The buzz Clark generated was instrumental in the league's recent growth, and now, without her, the WNBA is struggling to regain that same momentum. The sharp decline in interest serves as a harsh reminder of how vital star players like Clark are to the league's success. To put things in perspective, had Caitlin Clark been part of the WNBA Finals, front row seats could have easily sold for upwards of $20,000 each. The demand for tickets would have been astronomical, as fans and celebrities alike scrambled to be part of what would have been the most highly anticipated finals in WNBA history. Clark's presence would have transformed the event into a spectacle, elevating the finals to a new level of excitement and media attention. Instead, the league is facing a starkly different reality. With Clark absent, ticket prices have plummeted to rock-bottom levels, and the enthusiasm that once surrounded the games has completely evaporated.
If Caitlin has joined the WNBA, we've now earned enough money for every single team to fly private. So if we put her on the team, we're going to be able to fly private all the way to Paris and back. We have been fighting for private flights for so many years in women's basketball, but I mean, we can go back to commercial.
Media coverage has dwindled, and the finals have lost their status as a must-see event. As a result, the WNBA has missed out on a massive revenue opportunity, not just from ticket sales but also from lucrative sponsorship deals. With fewer people tuning in or attending the games, sponsors are pulling back, leading to millions of dollars in lost revenue. What could have been a financial windfall for the league has instead turned into a major setback, underscoring just how critical Clark's presence is to the WNBA's success. It's not just ticket sales or sponsorships that have taken a hit, the entire atmosphere surrounding the WNBA has shifted. Without Caitlin Clark, there's a noticeable lack of energy, and it feels as though the league is on the brink of irrelevance. The finals, which should represent the pinnacle of the WNBA season, have become an afterthought. Fans are simply not as engaged when the league's brightest star isn't on the court. The excitement that Clark generated has vanished, leaving the games feeling flat.
They're all gonna, oh, it's Caitlin Clark, it's her fans. It's her fault, it's Caitlin. Oh, Caitlin's just this burden for the league. We don't want those types of fans.
If the WNBA wants to avoid further decline, they need to seriously rethink how they support their star players. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, capable of transforming not just the WNBA but women's basketball on a global scale. Her impact extends far beyond the court. She brings visibility, excitement, and growth to the entire league. If the WNBA continues to fall short in providing her with the necessary support, they risk losing her to rival leagues in Europe or elsewhere, where opportunities for top talent are becoming increasingly competitive. Should Clark leave, the WNBA could find itself once again struggling for relevance and survival in an already crowded sports landscape.
Caitlin Clark has created more buzz around the basketball landscape and has actually transformed and revived a league that was the WNBA, and she is getting paid a measly $28 million.
Clark's presence is crucial for driving fan engagement, sponsorship deals, and media attention, and her departure would leave a void that may be impossible to fill. To prevent this, the WNBA must create an environment where Clark and other stars can not only perform at their best but also feel valued and supported in the long term. What we're witnessing now is a clear example of the consequences of a league that fails to properly invest in its stars. The WNBA has lost its biggest draw, and the fallout has been catastrophic. Fans are disengaging, ticket prices have plummeted, and the league's future looks uncertain without Caitlin Clark leading the way.
And listen, as demonstrated, Caitlin Clark is a beast. She is so popular that they have recently introduced something called the Clark Cam, which is a camera that is just dedicated to following Caitlin Clark around for the entire game, which is then live streamed here on this app.
Clark's absence has highlighted just how essential she is to the WNBA's success, and the path forward is now clear. The league must do everything in its power to bring her back and ensure she stays. This goes beyond merely offering financial incentives. The WNBA needs to demonstrate to Clark that she is valued both as an athlete and as an individual. Supporting her on and off the court, protecting her from unnecessary targeting, and providing her with a platform to thrive are all critical steps. If the league fails to take these actions, they risk losing not only Clark but also the momentum they've worked so hard to build.
Entitled Uninformed WNBA Players, they will potentially forfeit next season because they're going to be too busy complaining about their minimum wage salary.
Otherwise, the league risks reverting to a time when fan interest was minimal, and the WNBA struggled to stay relevant and financially afloat. Caitlin Clark has shown the league a glimpse of its potential as a powerhouse in women's sports, with sellout crowds, heightened media attention, and a surge in popularity. She has single-handedly elevated the league to new heights, making WNBA games must-watch events. However, without her, the future of the league looks increasingly uncertain. The WNBA simply cannot afford to lose Clark, and they must take immediate action to ensure she remains its central figure for years to come.
And to imply that we should just ignore the impact that Caitlin Clark had on this team, this league, this sport. Nah, it doesn't work that way.
The WNBA is feeling the weight of Caitlin Clark's absence in more ways than one. Ticket prices for the finals have plummeted, and fans are no longer rushing to attend games. As a result, the league is missing out on a significant revenue opportunity that Clark's star power previously generated. Her presence on the court elevated the WNBA to unprecedented heights, drawing sellout crowds, generating buzz, and attracting media attention. Now, without her, the league is struggling to maintain that momentum. Meanwhile, some entitled players who believe they are selling out arenas are facing a dose of humility.
Entitled players in the WNBA just can't seem to understand is, you get what you put in, and right now, you are getting exactly what you deserve.
The stark contrast in attendance and fan interest clearly indicates how much Clark's presence matters. The rumors that she might take her talents overseas add another layer of urgency to the situation. Losing her to international leagues would be a devastating blow to the WNBA and could result in a sharp decline in its relevance. Clark has the ability to shape the future of women's basketball, and her impact extends far beyond the court. This means the future of the WNBA depends on ensuring that players like Clark remain integral parts of the league. If they don't act quickly to retain her, they risk slipping back into the obscurity they fought so hard to escape. The clock is ticking, and Caitlin Clark's return is essential not just for the WNBA, but for the future of women's basketball as a whole. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.